How's it going, everybody? Bobby here once again. You might know me online as Iron Hammer 5, and today we've got a review of the Mutation X V4. Let's not fuck around anymore, and let's get straight to it. So, here it is, guys. In case you care, the packaging of the Mutation X V4 comes in this big white box. As you can see, with like silver shit. Some people care, apparently. You get an authentication thing on the back, which I checked mine is authentic. I bought it off eBay, so I did check, but it's definitely authentic. The vendor was a cool vendor. It got lost in the post the first time, so I had to wait for a second one. Inside, you get this like Mutation X advertising shit, which shows you different ways you can use it and stuff. You get screwdriver, screws, and O-rings. You get this strange plastic part. You get a normal 510 drip tip adapter. And of course you get the RDA. So as I get all the other shit out of the way for the moment, here it is, the Mutation X V4. An interesting slight change from the previous versions. This one of course has those airflow holes right at the bottom there, and has a bottom airflow design too. Some of the other parts, like the other airflow holes, are the same as you would expect on a Mutation X RDA. But this one has the bottom airflow as well, so that's the main change really here, and of course the cool top as well. So if we take it apart, you get this cool drip tip. This is not a 510 drip tip. This fits straight into the top there. Then we get this part here, which is your airflow control, and also this very top ring here comes off, and this is where you would swap it out for the 510 drip tip adapter, which goes in there and makes it look a little bit crappy, right? It comes off. Also on top, you can use, just to show you the different parts where we're talking about the top, you can use this extension tube on there, and it makes it longer to supposedly give extra time to cool. I think that looks a bit crappy too, but some people might want to use it, and you can see there's juice in the threads. Nice, and there's juice all over the desk too, as you can see. So what happens if you watch an Iron Hammer 5 review of an RDA, it's going to be juicy. So yeah, that fits into the top there. I'll pop the normal one back on for now, and take the airflow control out. Then we have the outer barrel, which has the usual Mutation X design. It has the white coating on the outside. We'll talk more about that in a moment. And it's just stainless on the inside. And then we have the deck, which is not. It's kind of standard, but the juice well. See, it has that standard bottom airflow juice well design there, where it's like a kind of funny, like butterfly sort of shape almost. So there it is. It has big chunky screws. They're really nice screws. They screw down really nicely. They just feel smooth when you screw them in, and there's no trouble with them cutting my wires or anything that I've experienced myself. Like the making of it, kind of the machining of it is really good, I thought. It seemed really nice, but the finish of the white is something that I'll get to. I'm not very happy about that part. You've got obviously those bottom airflow holes which come through from the bottom, and they lead up to directly underneath your coil, so you're going to want to position your coils over those airflow holes like that the best you can, and then put your wicks down into these wells on either side. But you do lose, even though it's a real deep juice well, it's like really deep in there, you do lose a lot of juice well because of those airflow holes, obviously where it juts out, and really with those bottom airflow holes, it's going to get really juicy if you start dripping loads of juice in there. So you have to be really careful if you've got those open. The other thing it does come with is these little rubber plug things like this, and you can put those over the bottom airflow holes if you don't want to use the bottom airflow holes to cover them up, and that will stop it getting so juicy if you do want to like drip more in there. But you know what I'm like, guys, I'm lazy, right, and I just want to chuck juice in something. I can't be bothered with messing around painting the wicks and stuff like that. Like, that doesn't appeal to me. Now I can't get that thing out. I'm going to have to reach for a screwdriver. try and pry out. It comes with like 4 of these, so if you lose one, there is some spares in there. So yeah, the airflow design, it has single coil and dual coil options. Single coil, dual coil will obviously be there, and if we turn it around, there's your single coil with the other side closed. You can close it all off as much or as little as you like using that. So you can vape it in almost 3 different ways. You can close the top part and have just the bottom airflow holes open, which gives you some really nice flavour. It's a really nice vape with that just closed like that, and it's still air enough to do a kind of restricted long hit. Then you can open them right up and have it with both open, the bottom and the side airflow open, or you can use those little rubber plugs to cover the bottom airflow holes up and use it just like a traditional RDA with just the side airflow open. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. Even with the bottom and side open, I seem to get better flavour than if I have those plugged up with just the side open. Those bottom airflow holes still seem to improve the flavour, even if you've got these big massive side airflow holes open. That's just something I've seemed to have noticed, right? The best flavour, of course, is having those closed and just the bottom open, and it's a really tasty, flavourful vape. It's actually a really nice vape. It has a concave top cap, and then it also has this kind of concave drip tip on top. And one of my favourite parts about this RDA is the drip tip. I absolutely love this drip tip. The shape of it is so comfortable because it's kind of like almost conical. It is just really nice to use. It's the perfect size on top for me. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's big enough to drip through. You can easily drip down in there, but it's not too big that it's really horrible and annoying to put in your mouth. It's just a really nice drip tip. I wish I could take this drip tip off and put it onto other devices. Obviously it only fits on top of this. There might be some other RDAs out there that it fits on, perhaps. I don't know. How about the El Cabron? If it fit on there, that would be amazing. No, it goes straight in. I don't know if I've got any other RDAs with kind of big holes like that. And oh my god, that El Cabron was juicy when I just picked it up. Cafe. I'm wiping on my clothes again, sorry. There we go. Now there's juice bloody everywhere, man. There's usually a little bit of juice, but fucking El Cabron RDA was covered in juice when I picked it up. Someone must have knocked it over and all the juice fell out. That someone was probably me. So now I've completely lost what I was talking. The drip tip. I love the drip tip. It's my favourite drip tip ever. I just really love it. I wish it could fit on other stuff, but it doesn't. I don't know if it might fit on the old Mutation X's. I don't know. I don't have any of those. But yeah, the drip tip is awesome. So that's one of the things I love. I love the flavour and the vape that I get off this. Even with the side and the bottom open, I get a really nice vape. One other thing I wanted to show you here, though, which was really disappointing for me, was the finish on this white finish on here. Like, I love the white, right? It looks awesome, but you can't really tell on video. Maybe you can just tell that, firstly, this top part here is a slightly different colour to the bottom part. Like, it's really hard to see on camera, but you can just about see. The top part is more of like almost like a creamy white colour, and the finish is like less glossy, whereas the bottom is more of like a sort of like a satin finish almost. Like, it's almost like a completely different finish, and it pisses me off because when you look at it in real life, you can really notice that it's a slightly different colour, and that's kind of fucking annoying. So the next thing is, you can't see it on camera at all. I don't know, right where this thumb is, which is wiggling, there's almost like a kind of C shape, like it's like a dent in it, like in the finish, and you can kind of almost see the stainless through it. You really can't pick it up on camera. It comes up really faintly. I can see it because I know it's there, but it's like a backwards C shape right here where the tip of my thumb is. You can just about pick it out. That is kind of like an indentation in the coating, and it just looks pretty crappy. You can't get it off, and it looks shit. You can kind of see the stainless through it. And then finally, this top airflow hole, if you look around the edge here, you can see these little like almost silver flecks in it, and around the edge in some places you can maybe see that edge there, it looks all rough around the edge. That's where they've kind of, the coating comes over the edge and kind of overlaps. As I've been using it, it's worn down a bit, but when I first got it, this seam around the top here, you can kind of see where it's just right at the tip of my finger here, it's kind of raised up, like they've put too much coating on and it's kind of like flared out sort of. And like straight away I looked at it and I was like, well, that's going to chip straight away, it's going to come off. So as I've been using it and it's turning the airflow, that's kind of caught on the bottom part and picked off, and then that's why you're getting these silver spots around the edge. Before long, I know that that top part in particular, because I think it's a different finish to the bottom part, but that top part in particular is going to be all chipped and nasty looking, and it's just a crappy finish on top of it. So on the bottom we have the serial number, designed in the USA, Mutation X V4. It's a silver plated copper pin and it is adjustable, and there's a peak insulator in there as well which goes right through to the top. You can just about catch it in the bottom there maybe, but it is in there. It's peak both the top and bottom. A beautiful looking RDA if it wasn't for the fucking finish. Like, it's one of the best looking RDAs I've ever seen. I'm not so keen on this weird tribal thing going on. If you look at it from the back, it's like one of the most beautiful looking RDAs I've ever seen, if it wasn't for the white finish being so crappy. So I don't know what the other colours are like, but this one, the white, meh. It's just so annoying because it's so nice, but that white finish ruins it for me. From an aesthetic standpoint, it's a really lovely vape, but the mess ruins it for me, and I know that's my fault. I don't want comments, blah blah blah. We'll talk about that in a minute anyway. There it is up close, guys, the Mutation X V4. I'm going to wick it, let's have a little vape, chat about it. So, there it was, guys, up close, and here it is. And here's the thing that annoys me about it, is painting my fucking wicks with juice so delicately and worrying about, oh my god, if I drip so much it's all going to fucking piss out of the bottom. It's just hard to get juice in there. Like, if you drip it straight on, it's going to come out of them fucking holes pretty much. At least that's my experience with it. That's a fault of bottom airflow design in general, right? Or a flaw, not a fault, a flaw of bottom airflow design. You have to be a bit more patient with it, and that's just not me. So that's my opinions on the bottom airflow. Let's have a little vape. Got it fully open with both the bottom and side airflow. And it's a nice vape, good flavour. Considering how open it is, right, it's a good flavour. But because you can't drip much juice in there, like the juice well's kind of taken up by those airflow holes, but you have to drip all the time, or you can't even drip, you have to paint. Especially if you don't want to get dry hits on camera. And I just watched a big blob of juice roll down into that bottom airflow hole, and you won't be able to see it because it won't be in focus, but it's starting to come out that bottom hole already, and my mod is getting rather wet. But that's me, I'm too fucking clumsy, and I'm too impatient, and that's what happens. A little bit gurgly now, because I've closed the side airflow off, and I love the vape off it, right? Don't get me wrong, it gives a really nice vape. The bottom airflow, like I wish you could divide gravity and sort of have bottom airflow where the juice can't come out somehow. It's better than some other bottom airflow because it's got those 3 little holes, so it hasn't got a big giant slot where the juice can just kind of fall straight through. So if you get a little drip, it will kind of get stuck in the hole and it won't go all the way down, and that doesn't cause so much of a problem. So if you're patient, you won't run into issues, and if you're careful when you're putting more juice on your wicks, that's not a problem. But for me personally, it really fucking bugs me, and I can't be bothered with that shit. The fact it's 2 different colour whites kind of bugs me. Really bugs me. It looks so nice, I love the shape of it, but it's 2 different colour whites. Why is it 2 different colour whites? And why is the edge so rough? I don't know if you can kind of pick it out even more from this angle, but there's a real rough edge where it joins on the top to here. If you feel it with your finger, it's horrible, and it feels like you can just grab it and pick it off. It's just rough. I wish that wasn't the case. I'm sure the stainless one is probably better. I don't know if the black one is maybe the same as this, or maybe it's got a different coating, I don't know. But the white one, the finish is pretty shitty, so maybe choose a different colour. but it's such a nice vape. And the drip tip is fucking awesome. I love the drip tip. I really love the drip tip. But I think I pretty much covered most of it up close, right? It's a really nice RDA. It's well made. Everything fits together really nicely. Everything screws together nicely where it needs to screw. Everything feels really smooth, even to the screws of the RDA. When you screw them in, it just feels really smooth and nice. They just go down. They've got big chunky heads on. They just go down smoothly. No wobbling. They just go in and clamp your wires down without cutting them. So many things are right about this RDA. It's the design is great. The options are great. If you don't mind the bottom airflow leaking occasionally, if you're clumsy like me, it's great. Or if you're much more patient, that's not going to be a problem. You can block the bottom airflow if you just want to use the side airflow, and then you don't get so many leaks. And I know you guys are going to comment, right? Oh, you're doing it wrong. You need to paint the wicks and shit. I know. I'm too lazy. I know, right? Many people are not going to have the same problem as me with that. So for them people, this is a fucking awesome RDA, right? For me, that just puts me off from using it all the time. That makes me think I want to use it. I'm kind of like, I can't be dealing with wiping juice off my model all the time, because I know, me personally, a messy motherfucker is going to drip juice everywhere. That's just how I roll. That's just not how I want to roll, but that's what happens. So yeah, I love it. I wish the finish didn't suck balls, and the bottom airflow is just not for me because it's messy, but I love the flavour. With just that bottom airflow open like that, man, the flavour is fucking awesome. But it gets dry in 2 seconds because you can't fit any juice in the juice well, even though it's pretty massive. You just can't. It's hard to get it into that bottom part. So yeah, mixed opinions on it, I'm afraid, guys. So fucking close. I love so many things about it. But just a couple of things for me personally. The finish for everybody, I wouldn't recommend you choose the white one. The finish is shit. But the other thing is very subjective with the bottom airflow. I'm repeating myself over and over and over and over and over again because I'm trying to make it clear. I don't want people to think that I think it sucks because of bottom airflow and I'm going to get shit saying, oh, the bottom airflow is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing for me. It's a bad thing for me. So there you go, people. Take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. More shit coming up. We've got the Cool 5.4 coming up soon, so there'll be a mod review coming up. The new RDA that Cthulhu mods are releasing, they'll be coming up soon, so subscribe for them. And I hope you enjoyed it, like I said. And yeah, the Mutation X V4. Very, very mixed. The finish pisses me off more than anything, because that you can get right. You should be able to get right. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. You're all fucking awesome. Did I forget to mention that? And take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.